Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? Welcome to your March monthly energy report. And man, March is going to be a massively transformative month. So 2020 is already a massively transformative year, right? Now, in January, we had the Saturn-Pluto conjunction and the eclipse, which really shifted and started this year. It started with a bang, right? February, we had Mercury go into retrograde, and then the Pisces season. Now, the astrological year doesn't start till Aries season, right? The third week of March. So that's when this year really kicks off. Now, I'm going to go into the macro level here, and then we're going to go into the micro, into the consciousness, and see how they're both mirroring each other, because there is so much going on in the world right now. And I want to really take a look at this big thing, the coronavirus, right? And all this fear-mongering and all this shifting, that these tectonic plates are shifting right now. So we're in the middle of this highly mutable energy, right? Pisces is a very mutable energy, and we're going to be in there until March 20th, when the sun goes into Aries. And during this time, we have a lot of things building up to a culmination point, okay? Now, out there in the world, we have all this information and energy out there about this coronavirus. Guys, the coronavirus has a 2% fatality rate. That is less than the regular flu. And most people, like, if you take care of yourself, the flu is not going to hurt you. It's going to hurt the weak and the immunocompromised. Okay? So we have all this fear-mongering going on, and these plots and plans to they created a problem, and they're going to create a solution with this new vaccine that's experimental, that just got billions of dollars in funding all around the world. And I guarantee, come Aries season, they're going to start implementing, and they're going to start saying, hey, get your coronavirus vaccine. Right now, whether you believe in vaccines or not, okay, the fact is that vaccines harm people. Okay, now that's not me being anti-vax or pro-vax. That's me being informed with the science, okay? Heavy metals confuse the immune system. They cause autoimmunity, all right? And when this happens, it actually weakens your immune system to be more susceptible to other bacterial infections and funguses and viruses and whatnot. All these other external factors are also incorporated in this too. Pharmaceutical medications, 5G, electromagnetic frequency, all right, GMOs in foods, right? All this stress and all this marketing that is promoted to this world is designed to scare the shit out of you out of taking action for yourself, okay? And this month is going to shift from this mutable energy into this cardinal energy, which is like, get up and go, make it happen, right? So we're really coming into this next stage of, are we going to stand up in our power, or are we going to follow, the masses, the sheeple, into this ridiculously just evil fucking plan? I mean, it's absolutely insane. We are stepping into the next genocide, literally. And it's all bacterial and viral, okay? Trying to say that, there are so many different directions you can go into the whole, like, vaccine and viral and in the pharmaceutical industry, whatever, but it's starting to become really apparent that, conspiracy theory is actually conspiracy fact. And we have to wake up to the fact that we cannot trust the people that are in charge. All right. We have to take care of ourselves and step into our own power and take care of ourselves, not just physically, emotionally too, especially this day and age. Did you know that almost 70% of children or kids between 17 and 23 are not emotionally fit enough to join the military? 70%. That is insane. Soon the autism epidemic is going to be costing more than the annual budget that we have. Okay, these things are all adding up, and it's population control. And if you can't see that, I mean, come on, it's being thrown right in front of our face. But finally, people are starting to stand up, and people are starting to take notice and speaking up. And we are getting ready for a revolution, my friends. The revolution is here, and it's going to be really kicking off at the end of this month. So let's go into the chart. Let's see what the energies have to say. Because, we're going to be seeing it just so massive going on here. So here we have March 1st. The first real transit, significant transit we have is going to be on March 5th. All right, when Venus goes into Taurus. Now, this is a really good spot because Venus rules Taurus, right? Taurus is grounded. Taurus is, loves nice things. And with all the other energies going on, especially with the sun still in Pisces, it's going to be nice, to have this this sort of relief of pressure, so to speak. Because when Venus is in Aries, it's very impulsive. It wants it now. It wants that instant gratification. So we're going to become more grounded in relationship to our relationships and relationship to our money. All right. Taurus is all about money too, making that money and being responsible, being grounded, being, methodical. Okay. So, we also have Mercury coming into 29 degrees of Aquarius now. So now that's out of Pisces. It's back into the fixed sign. So it's going to go back to 28 degrees and then go forward here. But before we get into that, on the 7th, we're going to have Venus conjunct Uranus. Now, Venus conjunct Uranus is, I have that in my birth chart. Okay. Venus conjunct Uranus can be impulsive, but in a different way than when Venus is in Aries. This means that, shocking aha moments, or all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, you just find yourself in this place where you just all of a sudden know what you want, or, that lost feeling can all of a sudden have a relief of symptoms, so to speak. Right. So this is really good and positive, provided that you're listening to your intuition. Uranus is a very intuitively sensitive sign because it's a higher knowledge, right? And it doesn't necessarily like to be in Taurus, but Venus does. So this is going to sort of give it's going to smooth the edges over of the Uranus energy. And, it's going to help us appreciate ourselves, appreciate life. And we have a beautiful grand trine today too, a grand Earth trine. So this is going to really ground that energy out with all this shaking up going on. Really, really exciting, fun stuff. And then on the 8th, we also have Uranus going to 4 degrees. So last year, Uranus got to 6 degrees, and we're almost back there now. So we're still going through this, finishing up the lessons from the last time that, before Uranus went retrograde. And, Uranus is really bringing us forward. The last time that Uranus was in Taurus was when Hitler was in power. And of course, the Saturn Pluto conjunction in Capricorn hadn't happened since 1517. And, with all these different aspects that have not happened for hundreds of years, you can see how these revolutions that have happened over the years, guys, 2020 is going to, people are going to look back at this year as a year that changed humanity. And I am not even kidding. And I'm not exaggerating at all. This is massive. But, as this darkness is trying to control and keep the system in its old stable place, we have this new fifth dimensional energy that's rising up, and people are starting to rebel in a loving way against the system. This is Rage Against the Machine, baby, and it's in its fullest meaning. Okay? We are standing up and we are revolutionizing consciousness and how it works. And believe me, we don't need, 6 billion people to die so that humanity can thrive. That's bullshit. Over 100 years ago, Nikola Tesla invented free energy, but they suppressed it because it didn't make any money. But the way that we're coming to, especially with Uranus and Taurus and all this energy in Capricorn, we are restructuring and redefining the foundation of our society and how we live in this world. And as we step into that truth, that power, that knowledge, we are going to teach the people that are in charge a better way. And more people are going to be getting into office and into powerful positions to make these changes. I mean, you see like different psychedelics that are becoming legal in different cities and states, and all this research that is coming out about how healthy it is. And that is counter to the pharmaceutical industries. Okay. It's literally the pharmaceutical industries against the people right now. That is the machine that we're fighting against. And, you know, they just want to keep us sick. Our healthcare system is a joke, and it's keeping us sick. So we have to educate ourselves, and we have to know. And, you know, alternative medicine is really the really true form of medicine, because we're functionally bringing our body back into alignment, which is what medicine is supposed to be. It's why they say, you know, you are what you eat. You are the food and the things that you put into your body. So make sure that you're putting good quality nutritional nutrients, micronutrients, macronutrients into your body, because if you're not, this stuff is going to start hitting you so hard that you may not be able to come back from it. Okay, I can't stress enough. You need to take care of yourself nutritionally and emotionally. And, you know, find alternative methods from pharmaceuticals and from vaccinations to keep your body healthy and strong, and keep yourself away from these things that suppress the body. Because when we suppress things in the body, we are suppressing the mind as well. We are becoming rigid. And that's when we end up getting trapped in this cycle, and we fall in line with this incredibly unhealthy system that is basically walking us to our death. We're just slowly dying. Okay, so we also have the sun conjunct Neptune on the 8th, which between that and, you know, Venus being conjunct Uranus, this is very intuitive, very spiritual, very enlightening, okay? Between the fixed energy and the mutable energy, where literally, like, there's this earthquake that is going on here with this energy that is moving around, like, underneath the tectonic plate of our existence. It's moving things around in the unconscious to reshape our behavior patterns. Now, if you're fighting this feeling, because it is uncomfortable, all right, that's just part of the process. But if you're fighting the feeling and fighting the experience, then you're just going to make things way harder on yourself than it needs to be. There's so much abundance to be had in this energy, but you have to believe you deserve it. This is exposing, like, self-limiting belief systems. This is exposing the fears for what they are. But when they get exposed, it doesn't feel good. It's scary. It feels like shit. You don't want to experience it, but you have to. It has to go through the 5 senses to be purged out. And, you know, that's where that Uranus energy and the Neptune energy, because they are semi-square, all right, they're going to be working together to really force all this energy out and push us forward into this next level. So, and right on this day as well, you know, Mercury is going to be stationed to go direct, and it goes direct on the 9th. So while all this is going on, we have Mercury that, you know, is communicating very clearly in our mind of all this emotional, deep under the surface, unconscious stuff, bringing it up to the surface to be understood and looked at. And so, you know, the saying, the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off, is very relevant here, because we're getting some reality checks here, guys, and you need to be ready for the truth. And everybody's truth is unique, right? We all live by our own truth, and we have to really, really just be brutally fucking honest with ourselves to move into that, light. Because in order to be able to move to the light, you have to let go of the darkness. And this darkness is all the shit that's being exposed. But the really good thing here is also during this time, we have Venus and Uranus sextile the north node and trine to the south node. So being trine and sextile the nodes, this is destiny speaking to us clearly. We feel like we're being pulled in a direction, and we need to let that pull just happen. Don't fight it. Don't fight the process. Embrace the process. Okay, and then on the 11th, you know, it seems like these nodes are just traveling faster and faster. On the 11th, we have the nodes shifting from 5 degrees to 4 degrees. So now, like, we're really getting down to the brass tacks of, you know, the last portions of these lessons that we're experiencing. And we have Saturn here now at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So, you know, Saturn rules Capricorn, which is already strong enough. If that wasn't strong enough, okay, the 29 degrees is a master number, and that's like, whenever a planet is at 29 degrees, it magnifies the energy tenfold. So now the Saturn energy has already been intense as fuck, and now it's just going to be turned up all the way. And, you know, with this turned up all the way, it's showing us, hey, it's time to shit or get off the pot. we got to do this, and we got to do this now. Like, it's time to take your power back. So if you are giving your power away anywhere in your life, it is time to take a look at that and move some shit around. Make it happen. This energy is pushing us forward, guys, in a major, major way. So next we have on the 19th. Let's see here, 19th. We have Mars conjunct Jupiter. Now, in the second half of March, this is where things get really interesting, okay? Because now we have the sun on this day at 29 degrees Pisces. We have Saturn at 29 degrees of Capricorn. And so these are two powerful energies. The 29 degrees Pisces is the last degree of the entire zodiac. So this is just pushing out all this, like the crevices of our consciousness that we've been afraid to go are just being purged out, whether we like it or not. And down here we see Mars and Jupiter. They're conjunct at 22 degrees. Now, if we look back where the Saturn Pluto conjunction was, that was right at 22, 23 degrees. Okay, so this 22, 23, 24 degree area is incredibly significant. And if you have any planets between 22 and 24 degrees, you are going to feel this energy so incredibly strong, especially if you're a Capricorn or a Cancer. All right, or Aries and Libra, because that squares it as well. But Mars and Jupiter now with these planets conjunct right here, we have Pluto just 2 degrees away. So essentially, the whole second half of the month, there's going to be a Mars, Jupiter, Pluto conjunction. Holy fuck, guys! Just holy fuck. I don't know how long it's been since we've seen that, especially in Capricorn. But that triple conjunction right there is just, it's life changing. And we've already been experiencing life-changing stuff. This is going to kick it up some serious notches, and this could be incredibly amazing. Like, we could win this is like winning the lottery kind of shit, okay? This is, or this could be going to prison for 30 years kind of shit. Like, whichever direction it goes, it's going to go in a massive, massive direction. So if you've been working on yourself, if you've been doing the work, the self-love, if you're coming from a place of love and you're putting yourself out there and showing yourself to the world, in whatever manner that is, that's authentically you, things are going to happen in a big way in the second half of March. And if that's happening for you, I promise you that this is going to change your life for the next at least 10 years, 10 to 30 years, okay? This is setting the foundation, setting the set for massive, massive shifts in your foundation, in your belief systems, just in your life. Like, you could have something come to you that, Jupiter is a planet of, abundance. It's a planet of making it bigger. So it's like, it's taking the energies of Mars and Pluto and putting them under a microscope. Now, Mars and Jupiter, Mars is aggressive. It's passionate. Let's go make shit happen. And Mars is exalted in Capricorn. All right, so Mars, like, yeah, I'm grounded. I'm making shit happen. Let's go. Let's go. And now that Mercury is not in retrograde anymore, it's like, all right, all systems go. Let's make it happen. I'm excited. Actually now, right now, all the planets are direct again. So this is another pocket of time where it's time to push forward. It's time to jump. It's time to make it happen, okay? And with Pluto there too, Pluto is the most intense unconscious energy. This is the planet of death and rebirth. So with that being right here too, talking to Jupiter, this is, like, massive transformations in relationships, massive transformation, like aha moments and awarenesses within yourself, within your own unconscious, purging out these self-limiting belief systems and these self-limiting patterns that have been holding you back for your entire fucking life. And then, Mars, like, all right, I'm going to take this shit. Like, it's like, they're the quarterback and Mars is the running back, and the running back's hand the ball. And now the running back is like Sonic the Hedgehog running down the field, like, I'm going to kill it. Right. So basically, we're going to have that energy sort of as the underlying foundation for the entire month. Okay. But it doesn't stop there. That is just, that in itself is one of the biggest, this is one of the biggest aspects we're going to see all year. Okay. Now, Mars conjunct the South Node was intense, but it was difficult, right? That was like letting go of this stuff that we just do not want to let go of. But now Mars conjunct Jupiter, it's like, okay, now I was forced to let go of it. Now here's the prize for letting go. It's like they forced our hand, but now it's like, here's the reward, okay, for all your hard work, for all your efforts. So kudos to you. Great work. All right, then on the 20th, boom, we have the sun going into Aries. So now is the first day of the new astrological year. This is the day that shit really takes off because Aries is a cardinal energy. And the sun is our spirit. It's our soul, right? So with our spirit energy now entering the first day of the new year, with all this energy, now Mars is at 23 degrees, Jupiter's at 22 degrees, Pluto is at 24 degrees, Saturn's at 29 degrees. Holy shit, guys. Wow, wow, wow. It's just fucking wow. This is like, we're going to have like a jolt of lightning up our ass to make shit happen and get things moving. Okay. Like it's amazing, but it's going to be scary at the same time, right? It's going to be a little like, holy shit, I just, a little turtle head's peeking out, you know what I mean? But are you going to go into that fear of abundance and allow it to guide you, like stepping into the unknown? Like if you do any kind of sport, like say you're a boxer or MMA fighter, you go in that ring, it's scary shit. You have all your insecurities, coming up, but guys that do that on a regular basis, they've mastered that feeling so that they use it to fuel them, to power them. So this fear is, whatever's underneath is going to come up. And if you've been doing the work, then you are going to be able to take that and transmute it. All right. If you've been suppressing, it's going to fucking knock you over. It's going to knock you out. All right. And it's going to hurt. But, like this is a process of massive, massive awakening. Now, I believe that right around this time, actually probably closer to, the last few days of March into the first week of April, that's when they're going to start coming out trying to announce like this widespread panic and getting, saying that everybody has to get a vaccine for the coronavirus and start quarantining people. And that's where the fight's going to come in, okay? But we just got infused with this incredibly powerful energy to step into our power, and we have to step into it to take control of our own lives, our own selves, and not let this shit hold us down and keep us from voicing our opinion and having what we want and creating the experience, the reality that we desire and we crave. We're going to start to see a lot of stuff that's like that resembles the 60s, but in a much more mature and advanced way, because back then it was like there was a lot of people that were just sort of doing drugs and hippies. Yeah, dude, peace, love, and happiness, which is cool and everything, but they weren't really embodying it fully. They weren't. That was during Saturn and Pluto opposition. Okay, so there was still this like, we're gonna rebel, but we're just opposed to the system. We're not gonna fix it. All right, now there's a conjunction. It's like we're embedded with the energy. It's like, all right, we see the problems, but now we need lawyers and politicians and doctors and PhDs to stand up and to be able to create that love and to fix these systems that are completely fucking broken, okay? I also believe that the stock market, the stock market's already crashing, but it's gonna get much, much worse, okay? So if you got stocks and bonds, watch out for those. The good thing is it's gonna be great for like, real estate, buying and selling homes, buying it, it's definitely gonna be a buyer's market for a while. But this pandemic, or this proposed pandemic, is striking fear into a lot of people that are unconscious. So stay woke, people. You're gonna stay woke so that you see all this shit coming and you don't fall victim to this bullshit that they're gonna try to lead you through. All right, so let's see. On the 22nd, Mars exactly conjuncts Pluto. Woo, man. And on the same day, Saturn goes into Aquarius. We need to get an amen for this one. All right. Saturn going into Aquarius, this is the first taste that we're going to get of the Aquarian age. Okay. So do you see how we're literally, we went from like being in this chrysalis, this amoeba of change. Now we're stepping into the future. Okay. This is the revolution. This is the future. And we're going to start getting a really massive taste of it. It's going to hit us in the face like a brick, because Saturn represents this reality that we live in, right? Now going into Aquarius, when Saturn goes into Aquarius, that is essentially the Aquarian age, especially it's really going to kick off when it goes in there for, completely, but Saturn will go retrograde back into Capricorn a little bit. So it's not quite there yet, but it's going to take us time to be able to learn how to process all this stuff. But so we have now Jupiter at 23 degrees, Mars at 24 degrees, Pluto at 24 degrees. So Mars and Pluto conjunction is intense. It can be frustrating. It can be like, you're angry at yourself. All these feelings of like, all of a sudden now seeing this deep, dark stuff that just pisses you off, and you want to rebel. All right. But we have to be careful to keep it structured, because Mars can be impulsive. Now in Capricorn, Mars loves Capricorn. So it's a good placement and he is powerful, but with Pluto there, Pluto overpowers everything because it is so deep. So be prepared this whole second half of the month to be feeling some incredibly deep and uncomfortable things. But it's like, if you watch the movie Creed, right? When he lost a fight and he had to go back and he had to go to that, place out in the desert to train. We're going out to that desert energetically to train energetically for the fight of our lives, going into the Aquarian age to raise the vibration of humanity. We are the ones that are changing the world here, guys. And we really need to step it up, because the powers that be want to keep control, want to hold it down. I cannot stress this enough. We have to stand in our power, and we have to get organized and structured. Okay. Now also, on this day, the nodes go to 3 degrees. So, the nodes are going through 3 solid degrees just in this month. So we can look to next month for it. Actually, I believe it's the end of April or beginning of May that the nodes will go into Sagittarius and Gemini. But we are coming to the end, the precipice, the apex of this learned lesson in the Capricorn Cancer axis. Thank God. Okay, that means that we've embodied all the emotional growth and development. We've created this new structure of emotional boundaries. We've been doing the work, and we are now at the place that we are meant to be and ready to take a step forward into our future. This is, God, we are literally stepping into the future of humanity right now in this month. All right, so on the 25th, we have the Sun conjunct Chiron. So if all this vulnerability wasn't enough with all this stuff going on in Capricorn, all right, now we have, the Sun conjunct Chiron. Now, of course, it's going to happen every year. So with this going on, and it's also square the nodes. So this is like, all right, we got all this strength, we got all this like great opportunities coming up. And now we have to step into that vulnerable power. Chiron in Aries is all about, how vulnerable can you allow yourself to be? Are you willing to look at that deeply wounded child within yourself and step into your greatness? Okay. So this is going to be a very vulnerable day. You're probably not going to want to feel it because you already got so much other intense shit going on that, it's going to be uncomfortable, but, we're going to get through it, guys, because that's what we have to do. And, Chiron, essentially, it's like this weakness that is meant to be turned into a strength. So whatever weakness that you're feeling, I used to feel like my empathy was my weakness, right? Like I was a big pussy for being, super emotional. But you know what? It ended up being the biggest strength and my biggest powerhouse when I learned to accept it and embrace it. Now I channel energy on YouTube and Instagram. It's crazy, right? So this energy, it's going to empower you in ways that you don't expect. So embrace this vulnerable feeling. Approach it like you want to understand it, like a childlike curiosity to see like, how can I use this weak, weird, shitty feeling to empower me to step forward. And, usually it's kind of a lonely feeling too. And, that loneliness can suck sometimes, but I'll tell you what, we all feel it. So you're not alone in your loneliness. Okay. I promise you that. You just have to, this is all about building courage and building strength to stand up, to fight, to participate and the fight of your life for your family, for your children, for your loved ones. Okay? Shit's going down, guys. We need to keep our bodies and minds healthy and away from all this propaganda out there. Okay? And, you know, that's a very individual thing. So stay strong. This year is literally like the strong will survive and karma will come around. Now, karma is not good or bad. Whatever you put out is what you get back, right? So karma is just your reality reflecting your reality back at you. How you think, how you feel. Okay, so you're putting good vibes out there from your heart. You have a big heart and a good soul. Then good things are going to come to you. Okay, but you have to face these feelings that you don't want to feel, because it is critical to get past all that fear. That fear is what is holding you down. No mo. Damn right. So then on the 28th, we have Jupiter exactly conjunct to Pluto. Now, this is an incredibly benefic aspect as well. Okay, Jupiter exactly, I mean, it's basically been conjunct for the last 2 weeks because these planets move very slowly. And, you know, we have Mars still at 28 degrees, so it's still in the vicinity. All right, but this energy is going to start taking over a little bit. Now, Jupiter and Pluto are going to conjunct 3 times over the course of this year. Okay, so Jupiter is the biggest benefic. Pluto is the deepest and most intense. When those two come together, we can make magic, baby. It can be incredibly beneficial. And also too, the nodes now are at 2 degrees of Capricorn and Cancer. So, and then this Pluto and Jupiter conjunction is quincunx over to the North Node. Oh boy. So this could be like a really big realization, stepping into your power, like way bigger than you ever thought possible. Okay, I can only imagine. And you know, this may be unexpected, right? That deep Plutonic energy, you know, it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So things can happen that you're like, whoa, this is so huge. I don't even know how to do this. Like, you're gonna be stepping into these shoes that you need to fill, which deep down you always knew that you were meant for. But now that you're there, you're like, wow, this feels way, way different than I expected, man. Like, can I handle this? And the answer is yes, you can. Okay? This is going to test every fiber. You have to take 100% of everything that you ever learned, that you've ever worked through, that you ever fought for, and put it into this energy that's going to make you stand up in your power. Okay? And then, you know, this is the universe testing us. It's going to test you to see if you've got what it takes. Okay? It's going to give you everything that you've been saying that you want. Do you really want it? Has it been an ego-driven desire or a soul purpose desire? What is your why? And we have to get real clear on this, guys, because, you know, the fear is a tricky motherfucker. Okay? So be clear with yourself, be nice to yourself, but also be your own cheerleader. We have to be our own cheerleaders right here, because this is going to require some massive cojones. And we also have Venus and the moon on this day trine over to these 3 beautiful energies, which is excellent. Okay, because Venus trining this, you know, like this is 2 earth signs coming together. Hey, let's all work together, right? And then we also have Uranus here, sextile the North Node, trining the South Node. So big, massive, destined calling positions, things happening here that this is our dreams coming true, guys. If that's what, you know, of course, it's not going to happen for everybody, but if you've really been working at it and you've been driven and you're ambitious and you are just doing the work and you want to make sure that shit's happening, this is the time that it's going to happen, this last week of March into the first week of April. And then, of course, on the 22nd, the 30th, Mars will conjunct Saturn at 0 degrees. Mars will conjunct Saturn at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So we have this Mars-Saturn conjunction here right now. And this is also while Jupiter and Pluto are conjunct. So this is starting to throw in some of the 0 degree Aquarian flavor. And then December, later on in December of this year, we're going to have Jupiter and Saturn conjunct, also at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So this is the universe like infusing us with this Aquarian age energy, getting us ready to step into that new age dawning. And zero degrees numerologically is the void. It is God consciousness. Okay. And then 24 degrees, 2 + 4 is 6. So that's 6 and 6. So, you know, 6s are about structure. Okay. 6s are about, you know, stabilization. So we're stabilizing ourselves in this new world that we want to create. And, you know, if we haven't figured out, if we don't have clarity on what we want, it may create some of the biggest challenges we've ever seen, so that we are forced to create the world that we want to live in. So, you know, it's only scary if you're afraid of it, or if you allow your fear to consume you. Okay, so look, this is big. This is enormous, actually. But these energies are beautiful, and if you're not seeing that while listening to this, then you need to look at your own belief systems. Okay, we need to make sure that we are seeing the benefits and all this crazy shit going on in the world. Okay, stop watching TV, stop eating junk food, stop philandering, stop doing the things that you know are not good for you. Okay, like if you're exhausted, take time out, relax, meditate, go do infrared sauna, like do something to chill the body out. Okay, but we have to make sure that we're careful about what we're feeding our mind. Make sure that, you know, this is the time to get rid of the toxic people in your life. This is the time to create your tribe of the people that you completely trust and completely know will have your back no matter what, 100%. And this is the time to, you know, honor yourself and be true to who you are at the core. This is about standing in your authenticity and saying, you know, with conviction, this is me. I love me. And I'm coming out to the world, and I want to make sure that I can help everybody that can. The Aquarian age is the humanitarian age. It's all about people helping people. You know, we all, at the core, we are all one, guys. Like, we're all connected. Okay, that's why when we talk about this kind of stuff, you guys resonate, right? Because underneath all the superficial shit, we all feel this kind of stuff. So we all have to come together and create these communities and step into our power and work with one another. Okay, to spread the knowledge and the awareness and the understanding of what is really going on here in the world and what kind of world do we want to create. And we can't create a world alone. This whole tribal feeling is coming back from, you know, we're going to be doing it in a new way, I'm sure, but all these old traditions from hundreds or even thousands of years ago, indigenous tribes down in South America and whatnot, we're bringing that sort of feeling back to communities here in the modern world. And we have to be willing to step outside our comfort zone and activate these experiences through our own, you know, gifts. Bartering is coming back in a big way. Okay, like the way that we're sharing information, there's so much misinformation out there. The way we know is when we look into somebody's eyes and we can feel the truth, because their truth is our truth. And that is where the true information lies. Okay, we can look up, you know, like double-blind placebo studies and, you know, see all this. Half of the shit is manufactured, edited, falsified, whatever. Like, you cannot trust all that kind of information anymore. It's just not possible. Whatever feels right and what you believe, that's why we have to tune into our heart, because our heart is where the truth lies with everything. Now, of course, education has its place, but deep down at the core, the education of the heart is going to be the most impactful in this future world, in this Aquarian age that we're moving into. Okay? So find your tribe, be around the people that you love and trust, and build that tribe so that we can all take care of each other. Okay? Help each other out and help each other grow to have a good, solid community-based living. You know, my moon is in Aquarius. So I get this, but a lot of people don't, because they're like, well, no, that's not how it's done. It's you know, the nuclear family ideology is dying. And that's just facts, okay? This Aquarian age it's killing that off. Okay, we still have, you know, solid one-on-one relationships, intimate relationships. All right, but the community aspect, this Aquarian age, it's killing off like what we think we were supposed to live and be like from before, because it just clearly is not working. Okay, so, you know, bartering, bringing back, like, you know, having a community of hundreds of people with their own doctor, chiropractor, and you know, lawyer, and, you know, people that you can trust that will work with you and help you out. Because let's face it, you work with people that you don't know, and 9 times out of 10, people are getting fucked, and people are getting, you know, like, you know, manipulated and lied to and screwed over. And, you know, it's not fair. Now, nobody said life is fair, but it'd be nice if you could be around people you trust, right? So we have to trust ourselves in order to trust other people. And that is the number one. So the work right now is trusting yourself. In order to truly trust your heart, you have to go through the fear. And that's what all these energies this month is bringing up. It is the revolution of the heart-centered thought process and belief system. So let's embrace that. Let's get ready for this new age, because we got a lot of work ahead of us. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you all very much. Check out my Instagram at spiritual_bodybuilder. And my YouTube, of course, is also Spiritual Bodybuilder. If you'd like a reading from me, you can comment below or DM me on my Instagram. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next report. Peace.